Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back. I'm CrisTheGirl and today we're spending the day once again at Disney World, specifically Animal Kingdom, because I want to finally do a deep dive video on the ride Dinosaur. If you are new here, first of all, welcome. Very happy to have you. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope you enjoy the channel in general. But I used to work here at Animal Kingdom, specifically Dinoland. I worked all of the attractions in Dinoland, including Dinosaur. I was also a trainer there for a while too. So I want to do a deep dive on Dinosaur. I'm going to share all of the things that I remember. Okay, that's a big asterisk next to that because it's been about a decade since I have worked here, so just want to throw that one out there. It's been a minute, and I didn't really do too much preparation for this video either, to be honest. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit off the cuff and just the things that I remember the most about working at Dinosaur, being a cast member here at Animal Kingdom in general, and all of that good stuff. This is not the first deep dive video that I have done on the channel. I have a whole playlist of it actually, so I'll just throw that out there if you like this kind of thing. Got a lot of videos around this subject, as well as talking about Dinoland, the soon-to-be defunct land here at Animal Kingdom. Got a couple videos talking about that too, etc, etc. But in this video today, we're going to be focusing on Dinosaur specifically, as well as just enjoying Animal Kingdom in general, because as I have been saying in my last few videos like a broken freaking record, my annual pass is coming up here in 10 days, actually. 10 days exactly is when my annual pass expires. So to be honest with you all, I don't know the next time I'm ever gonna come here to Animal Kingdom, and we could talk about that a little bit later, but yeah, we're just gonna enjoy this beautiful, beautiful Florida day here at Animal Kingdom. So thank you so much for clicking on the video. Hope that you enjoy it. Grab a snack and a drink, because we're doing all things Animal Kingdom and Dinosaur related today. Let's go. Something I'm really gonna miss about Animal Kingdom is the entrance music here. I'm really gonna miss that a lot. As a cast member working here, I would park in the parking lot just right over there, walk in this way with the rest of the guests, so I would hear this music on repeat, on a loop, pretty much every single day of my life when I was a cast member here, and I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it. What's interesting to me, and something that I think pretty much everybody points out when they come here to Animal Kingdom, are the ticket booth signs here that are very, very defunct as well at this point. You've got the dragon there that was supposed to be for like the cool, like fantasy sort of area that was gonna be here at Animal Kingdom and never came to be. Beastly Kingdom, right? I think that's what they were gonna call it. And then now this ticket window all the way over here with the dinosaur head, with the Triceratops, soon to be defunct Dinoland sometime next year, I believe. So I don't know. The only thing that is relevant now is gonna be the elephant in the middle, and honestly, who knows? How long is that gonna be relevant? And something that happened not too long ago, it's tough to be a bug. The show is now no longer here. This literally just happened a couple of weeks ago, and look at this. The whole signage of it all is completely missing. Wow. All I have are just these little turnstiles left. That is wild. We will definitely walk down that way a little bit later, but yeah, that's blowing my mind that they already took down the signage here. Oh no. Alright, here we go, Dinoland. I really don't know if I'm gonna make it back here to Animal Kingdom before they close Dinoland. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't know why I would spend the money to come here to Animal Kingdom to not ride any rides. And I don't know, like it doesn't make sense. So I think this will legitimately be the last time I walk through Dinoland. Like I said in the intro, I have done a couple of videos, several videos on Dinoland specifically, talking about the lore, the story of it all, talking about all of the rides, how it all fits in within the Dinoland lore, within the Animal Kingdom story in general. So if you're interested in that, the videos are out there. We're gonna touch on it a little bit today, but we're not gonna go into all of the depth. Wow, guys, and yeah, this is my first time being here with Dinoland Dino-rama being closed. Look how crappy this looks. Oh no! Oh, it's so depressing. Oh, it's so sad and so depressing. Oh no. T-Spin is gone. All of the games are gone. Wow. And it's just a big old green ugly wall. I'm sorry everybody who still has their annual pass and is still going to be coming here, because you're going to be looking at this wall for a long freaking time. A long time. And look, they've plastered the concept art in the middle here. It's going to be quote unquote tropical Americas. Quote unquote. Heavy quotes with that. It's going to be a whole Encanto thing going on where Dino-rama used to be. Man, that's so sad. In a relatively recent video that I did, I was talking about how I basically never want to ride a ride on the last day of that ride. I don't want to be here for the last day of X, Y, and Z anymore, and I still feel very strongly about that. The only reason we're here today is to do a deep dive on Dinosaur, because it's something that I've always wanted to do on this channel, something I've always wanted to talk about. It's been a goal of mine for a while, and that's literally the only reason. Otherwise, would not be here at Animal Kingdom. Did not want to see this at all in any way, shape, or form. But here we are. We're pushing through. We're doing it anyway. And the deep dive of Dinosaur does start here with the Boneyard, because this is where the story of Dinoland begins. It's here at the Boneyard. So the lore of it all, we're going to be talking about the lore of Dinoland here. But as the story goes, basically a fossil was found here in Diggs County, USA, the fictional place of Diggs County. And thus the Boneyard started. So a bunch of archaeologists and such came here, they set up the Boneyard area, they set up this archaeological dig site to find more fossils, to dig up more fossils. And so we have the Boneyard here, which is now, of course, a really, really, really cool little playground area. And the Boneyard is a place that I used to work at as well. In fact, this was the very, very first place that I worked here at Animal Kingdom. My very first full-time job here at Disney, if you can believe it, was at a freaking playground, but here we are. What I was actually hired to do was work at Dino-rama at Primeval Whirl and Triceratops Spin. But because Primeval Whirl had, let's just say, complications and did not open on time, I ended up working here at the Boneyard for a while until Primeval Whirl opened. So this is where I started, was working at the Boneyard in the playground. No need to really do a deep dive on that because it's a playground. How much can you really explain about a playground? But it was fun, it was interesting, it was a time to be alive, that's for sure. Most cast members hated working the Boneyard because it could be pretty boring. Basically all you're doing is just walking around, making sure kids don't, kill each other and are safe and all of that good stuff. So it could be pretty boring, but honestly, near the end there, I enjoyed working at the Boneyard. It was kind of fun, and it was kind of nice to just kind of walk around, roam around, and not do too much. Restaurantosaurus over here is also part listen, it's all part of the lore, but this is a big part of the dinosaur lore and story as well. This was kind of like where the archaeologists would set up their base camp, basically, and it'd be like their mess hall where they stayed, all of that stuff. So there's a bunch of hidden little Easter eggs and so much theming jam-packed inside of Restaurantosaurus. Again, I've made videos on it. It's out there. Check them out if you're interested, but this is all part of it as well. And here we are, Dinosaur, aka the Dino Institute, aka Countdown to Extinction as it was known when it first opened to the public, which in my opinion is such a better name than freaking Dinosaur, but here we are. Thanks a lot, Michael Eisner. So because they found all of those dinosaur bones, all of those fossils, again, this is part of the lore, the story of it all, of course, the Dino Institute was very soon created. They wanted to build a museum to house said fossils, to have a learning educational center for people to come to Diggs County, go to the museum, check out the fossils and all of that good stuff. And just taking a look here at Aladar, the iguanodon, and the outside of Dinosaur. I remember when it was Countdown to Extinction, and there was a Triceratops in the middle of the pool. I gotta say, Countdown to Extinction was such a better name than Dinosaur. Michael Eisner, I understand you're trying to do synergy with the terrible movie and all of that stuff, but truly, I miss Countdown to Extinction, and it's looking like it's going to be a 40-minute wait, and ironically for me, a 40-minute wait to literally not ride the ride, because me personally, I don't really do rides anymore. I have really, really bad motion sickness, very sensitive to these sort of things. Last time I rode Dinosaur, it didn't make me feel very good, so I'm also, on top of that, standing next to my whole thing of, I don't want to ride rides for the very last time. Like, that's just so incredibly sad to me. So we're just, sorry guys, we're not riding the ride. There's not really anything that I can say while we're actually riding the ride anyway, and like the show scenes and stuff. For one thing, it's incredibly dark in there. And for another thing, it's just, I don't know, there's not really too much to say on the actual ride of it. But we'll wait in the queue. We'll wait in the queue and we'll talk in the queue. And yeah, because I kind of have to get all the way downstairs to like show the vehicles and all of that stuff. So 40 minutes. Wahoo! We're heading all the way back in the extended queue area of Dinosaur. Always fun to see it, all the little dinosaur statues. All right, we're about to head inside of the Dino Institute. This first half of it is very much a museum, and you can see that obviously with all of the really cool displays in here with all the fossils and such. And they even have like a little plaque here saying special thanks to the following individuals and institutions for their gracious support of this exhibit. So it's very much museum energy in here, and it's kind of, we don't know this yet as a guest coming here to the museum, unsuspecting guess, but it's all a facade for what is about to happen to us and what Dr. Seeker is going to recruit us to do. For now, we're just guests visiting the Dino Institute, checking out the museum exhibits, and that's all that we know so far. And then this area that we're about to enter into here is called the Rotunda area, and this is probably one of my most favorite parts of the entire Q1. It is so cool. Again, very museum energy. Got the big Carnotaurus skeleton in the center here. Bill Nye the Science Guy doing a spiel overhead. I remember when that thing used to work. You used to be able to hear Bill Nye the Science Guy. You can barely hear him now. All the murals in here are so pretty. Very, very detailed, intricate. It's just so cool in here. Very, very unique. I'm going to be so sad once all of this is taken away for whatever the crap they're going to do with Indiana Jones in here. And they even have little displays inside of the glass in here as well. It's cool. It's neat. It's something to do while you're waiting in line. Even the walls in here, the rock walls in here are so cool, and just a detail that they didn't have to include, but they did include. And that's something I'm really, really going to miss about this ride and just Animal Kingdom in general, where they used to try to educate you, they used to try to like teach you something here, and it's just simply not the way that they are going anymore. They're all about the IPs and all of that stuff. So it's just that's just one of the many reasons why this is just so sad to me, that it's all going away. All going away, buddy. Where are you gonna go? The Lakeland Antique Mall? I sure hope not. So all of the cast members that work here at Dinosaur, this is part of the lore now, part of the story of it all. All of the cast members who work here are scientists. They are all working at the Dino Institute. And again, as the lore goes, none of them know what's about to happen. They don't know that what Dr. Seeker is about to do. And there'll be a cue, a little clue at the very, very end of the pre-show here that proves that point.
I'm Dr. Marsh, director of the Dino-rama, and I hope you enjoyed those quaint exhibits in the old way. That's how dinosaurs have been presented to the public since the study of fossils began over 150 years ago. Today, that bare-bones approach is about to become extinct. In a perfect blending of science and technology, the Dino Institute has created the Time Rover, an amazing vehicle that will literally transport you to the age of the dinosaurs. How? That's proprietary. But the result is a breathtaking journey through a prehistoric world that will witness the most spectacular creatures to ever walk the earth. In a moment, you'll be going live to our control center for a comprehensive safety briefing, and then it's on to the tour that will convince you forever that the future is truly in the past.
Hello there. Welcome to our little trans-dimensional joyride, folks. I'm Dr. Seeker, your friendly controller, and a heck of a paleontologist, if I do say so myself. But let's not talk about me, let's talk about you, and how you can help me make history today with the Time Rover. It's like this. If I can bring you back from the Cretaceous period, it stands to reason that I can bring back a live dinosaur with you. And not just any dinosaur. Take a look at this guy. He's an iguanodon, and I'm certain that he is the key to understanding these magnificent creatures. I tagged him with a locator during an unauthorized field trip. Otherwise, I'd be traveling with you. Right now, our dino should be about here, at the very end of the Cretaceous period. That's where you're going today.
I've arrived, it seems, just in time to correct a little misstatement.
Dr. Marsh.
That is impossibly close to the giant asteroid impact that destroyed most life forms on Earth. Our tours are designed to take you to the early Cretaceous period, and I can assure you that all time rovers have been securely locked on those coordinates.
That's right. See? Securely locked. Access denied.
Continue.
Of course. We were just talking about seatbelts. Plug them in. Use them. It can get kind of choppy out there, so keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times. Flash photography? I wouldn't. It alters the homing signal, and that's not good. Oh, and one more thing. Those locked coordinates? We're in. Now, here's the drill. You follow the homing signal to the iguanodon, then I'll enlarge the transport field, and boom, you're back with one additional passenger, extra large. And don't worry about that asteroid. You'll be in and out of there before it even breaks the atmosphere. Trust me, what could go wrong?
Oh boy.
Hey, it's me again. Remember, only you guys are going on this special mission, so don't tell anyone, okay?
So there you go, the infamous pre-show. So as Dr. Marsh says at the very, very beginning, they're putting us on the Time Rover, a new piece of technology, history, technology in the making. We're going on the Time Rover, and we're supposed to be going to the early Cretaceous period. But then the feed cuts over to Dr. Seeker, and he's like, hold up, we're gonna take a look at this iguanodon here because he's the key to understanding the dinosaurs or whatever it is. And we're gonna be going towards the time period where the asteroid is coming, so it's dangerous, and that's why Dr. Marsh comes in and she's like, no, you're not doing that, you're going to the early Cretaceous period. So yeah, Dr. Seeker then redoes the homing signal on the time rovers, and then we're going to the time period that we aren't supposed to. So again, going back to what I said earlier, all of the cast members here think that we are going to the early Cretaceous period, as Dr. Marsh says. So technically, again, according to the lore, according to the story of it all, all of the cast members here do not know that we are, in fact, having our time rovers hijacked, and we're going to when the asteroid hits and all of that stuff. So, kind of a little complicated. Hopefully that makes sense. But that is what is going on here. We're going on a top secret mission. Back in the day when they actually cared about the story of these things, if anybody asked us as a cast member, like, about the whole mission from Dr. Seeker. We're supposed to be like, what? What are you talking about? You're going to the early Cretaceous period. Like, it was a whole thing that we were technically supposed to do. Now, even back in my day when I was a cast member, they didn't make us do that. Like, nobody did that. But technically, that's the story. We haven't talked too much about specific cast member positions or anything like that. Mostly because there isn't too much to say, nothing that's too interesting, but there is a cast member position in here in the hallway area. You're basically supposed to monitor the hallway exactly as it sounds. All of the doors have switches, little buttons, so you can keep them open if you need to, because otherwise they will automatically shut. And you also can direct people towards the exit if they don't want to ride. Usually this is where I exit, but we're going to head downstairs. It's also another good place to do a final little check for the heights. In case you see anybody who's a little too short, you can check them again. Sometimes they make it past the entrance, and we don't want that. So here we are towards the underground area where the time rovers are going. You see the grouper position there. That was one of my favorites, especially once I got the hang of it, just getting everybody into their time rovers, trying to pack them in as much as possible. I want to show you the track system down here really quick. We'll talk about that later once I have some time, once it's a little bit quiet, but just keep that in mind. Also want to point out the cast member positions here. There's one over there, one over on that side. All right, here we go. We're just going to walk right across the time rover here since we're not riding. Goodbye, time rover. I'll miss ya.
Time travelers. Place all
So yeah, those two cast member positions are the exact same on the other side of the track as well. Basically, once everybody is seated, they don't even have to have their seatbelts on. They'll zip them across to the seatbelt check person, and then they will make sure everybody's seatbelts are on, and then the time rover will go. This is a very, 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 very intricate ride. All of the time rovers are on a hydraulic system. So basically it goes through the track like smoothly, if that makes sense. But since it's on a hydraulics, that's what makes it be bumpy. So it's not the tires, it's not the terrain that's making it bumpy. It's literally a smooth ride, but the hydraulics is what makes the top part of the time rovers go and do like all the bumpity bump stuff. Additionally, you would never know it, but the time rovers are very, very, very tall. Whenever you do an evac on this ride, Lord help you whenever that happens, there are huge, gigantic ladders, like step ladders, that are placed throughout the track of Dinosaur that you have to put up against each of the time rovers to get everybody down to the floor level. So something that people don't generally get to see, because obviously when you load, you're loading at seat level there, but they are actually quite tall. Speaking of evacs and speaking of the track here, like I was saying earlier, inside of the line there, the black line, that's obviously what's, making the time rovers like go forwards and such. That's what's powering the ride. I can't remember the exact voltage that's down inside of there, but it is enough to kill a person. Fun fact. But one of the things that was stressed very, very heavily to me when I was training here, and then when I started training people here, is that whenever you evac people off of this ride, more than likely there's still going to be power to the ride. It's very rare that the power on this ride gets completely turned off. So that means that voltage inside of that black line is still going. So one of the things they have to stress to the guests whenever they evac them off the ride is absolutely 110% stay the crap away from that black line, or you will die basically. If someone's foot gets caught in there, or if someone, a kid like puts their hand in there or whatever, it's enough voltage to kill a person. And that was always, again, very stressed to us. So no, this cage here is not for rowdy kids. It's if someone comes on with a service animal, this is where they can store them while they're on the ride. Also, there is an elevator as well, so if you are on wheels but you still want to ride, that's what you would use to get down to the floor level. And then through this door in here, that is a cast member door, and inside of there is where there is a cast member in what is called the tower position. And in that position is the eyes and the ears of the ride. They have monitors all throughout the ride. Unlike the Haunted Mansion, they are watching you on this ride, I promise, making sure that everybody is staying seated, following the rules, all of that good stuff. Extinction. Much like this ride. We're gonna get back to talking about the ride again in just a second here, but before we do, we're gonna do some shopping, you guys. I've been saying this for a little while now here on the channel, but I knew that I wanted to purchase one of these dinosaur guys because they have been selling these since this park opened up. All the way back in '98, they have been selling these weird rubbery dinosaur guys. So it is finally time. We're finally gonna buy them. I was also thinking about maybe buying this little time rover too. Unfortunately, they really don't have a lot of dinosaur merch at all. So it's just those weird rubber dinosaurs. They've got these guys here, and then these little collectible figurine says Dinosaur on there. And I'm just looking at the pins really quick to see if they have any dinosaur pins. I don't think they even have pins for Dinosaur, which is just, honestly, like, what are we doing? What are we doing at this point, truly? Yeah, the rest of it in here is just generic dinosaur merchandise they could literally buy, like, anywhere and everywhere. Don't waste your money on it, folks. Get it somewhere else, get it cheaper. And by the way, we have a big green ugly wall over here, too, on the way towards Dino-rama and that really cool gift shop that is no more. Change is good. You, Disney. All right, everyone. Well, we made it out of Dinosaur, the Dino Institute, alive. I gotta tell you, that wasn't easy. Your girl was tearing up in the queue line hard. I was trying very, very hard to keep it together because that was seriously probably my last time ever, like period, ever being inside of that building. And that is a very hard thing for me to fathom and to understand and to process, and that's a huge reason why, once again, just don't want to do that sort of thing anymore on the channel. Going on rides for the very last time, being in these areas for the very last time ever, like knowingly, it's just simply too hard. Another thing that I want to point out here too, just again with the amazing theming that they used to do here at Disney, but like all of the foliage, all of the plants and stuff that you see around here are not here by accident either. Like all of these plants you should be able to find like during the Cretaceous period, during the time of the dinosaurs. Also, again, just to finish up the lore of it all, clearly, like, you get on the time rover, Dr. Seeker's over the intercom the entire time, and you find the dinosaur at the very end, you grab him, and then you all come back, you know, to this time period, and then somehow he gets loose and he's walking through the Dino Institute near the end there and all of that stuff. So we're all successful in our mission. Going back to the plants, come explore the Cretaceous Trail. You may not realize it, but many types of plants and animals living today are survivors of the Cretaceous era, the last great age of the dinosaurs. What you are about to see on the trail is a living past, trees, plants, and animals that are either survivors or closely related descendants of a world that vanished 65 million years ago. And also, again, just to keep going with the lore here, the Cretaceous Trail maintenance is made possible by the generous donation from the Dino Institute. And look how sad this is. No more Cementosaurus. Well, at least we got to see it for the last time. I guess there's that. I don't know. We have our memories. There's that too. But yeah, it's not Dinoland anymore without Dino-rama. And I know it's basically wasted space at this point since every single show that they've done out here has failed spectacularly. But I do love this area. You can always count on it to be basically empty. And, you know, you can sit, you can find shade. And now we can finish up our little chat. It is a beautiful day today too. It is the day to be here for sure. So just to finish up our thoughts on Dinosaur, as a cast member back in my day, again, remember this was over a decade ago now, so I'm sure things have changed. I don't know how they do things nowadays. I'm just going to speak from my personal experience. That was the ride to work. Everybody who worked in Dinoland wanted to work that ride, and it's basically for two words: air conditioning. Air conditioning. That was a hot commodity, because every other ride in Dinoland was outdoors. There was no air conditioning. There was no air conditioning in Primeval Whirl. All you had were fans and shade, and that was it. So you were always a hot, sweaty mess, no matter what, basically. But Dinosaur, obviously, a good amount of that ride, you were working indoors in that coveted, precious air conditioning. And so everybody wanted to work on Dinosaur, including me, of course. I have always loved that ride. It's always been one of my most favorite rides at Disney. Even now that I can't ride it anymore, I don't ride it anymore, it's still one of my favorite rides because it is so unique, it is so interesting, it is so weird and wacky but scary. It's incredibly scary, in my opinion. The scariest ride on Disney property, now that It's Tough to Be a Bug is no longer here. And yeah, I've always loved it ever since I was a kid. It's always been my most favorite ride ever. And you know, a lot of people feel the same way. It's just so cool. So yeah, it was always a ride that I really wanted to work, and I was so happy when I finally got training to be able to do it. So the way that it worked is, if you were a trainer, you had to be trained on all of the rides in Dinoland. So basically, because I became a trainer, I automatically got my training to go over to Dinosaur and cross-train over at Dinosaur. So I was very excited about that. And also, back when I worked there, the rotation system at Dinosaur was split into two. So there are two different rotations that would go around: an outdoors/upstairs rotation, and then a downstairs rotation. So basically everything, how do I explain this? The greeter position, back in my day, fast pass position, and like the rotunda area, the hallway area, basically everything, again, that's upstairs, that was all on one rotation. Everything downstairs, the grouper position, the two people that, once you initially get into the time rover, those two cast members, the seatbelt check cast members, as well as the tower position in there, all of those are on their own rotation. And we called it the dungeon. It's a dungeon down there, if you think about it. If you get a rotation that is downstairs, if you pull that rotation, you're not seeing the sunlight for 2 hours. Some days, as you know, luck has it, some days you could go a whole entire day without stepping foot outside, and you are downstairs. There are no windows, no doors. You don't see the sun for hours and hours and hours at a time sometimes, which can be a good and a bad thing. Again, it is Florida, it's really hot out, so a lot of people didn't mind it. I surely didn't mind it. I loved being downstairs. That was my favorite ever. And especially the tower position, the one behind that mysterious closed door that I showed you. So that position was extra super coveted most of the time. Some people didn't like it, and I'll explain why in a minute, but that was very coveted because you got to sit down. Wow, big deal, honestly, because again, back in my day, back when Disney had unreasonable but standards nonetheless, you were not allowed to sit down as a cast member. That was a big no-no. You couldn't lean, you couldn't sit down. No, you were always standing as a cast member. So to be able to have a position behind closed doors where you could actually sit for an hour was freaking amazing. And for me, the highlight of working there. And not only that, but you didn't have to talk to guests, you didn't have to do anything but just sit there and monitor the screens, and that was it. And it was fantastic. Now, there were people who didn't like it because that is arguably the most important position of the entire ride, because you are not only monitoring the monitors, making sure guests don't stand up or do something stupid on there, but you're also, like, if something goes wrong with the ride will let you know. You know, alarms will flash, like, things will happen, and it will tell you what's wrong on the ride. And again, even back in my day, there were quite a few technical difficulties, so I can only imagine how bad it is now. But whenever those things happened, you were in charge of that. You were technically in charge of every single cast member, except, you know, the supervisors and coordinators and such, but you were in charge of everybody else. So say, for example, you had to evac the ride. You, as the tower person, were in charge of monitoring all of the cast members to lock out correctly, which basically means, oh, it's a whole thing. But basically, because cast members have to go onto the actual ride track, there's a lot of safety procedures that go along with that. You don't want to start up the ride, obviously, with cast members still walking around the ride track, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of safety procedures that go into that. That could be a whole hour conversation as it is. We don't need to go into that. But basically, just know there's a lot of things that have to happen with the tower position and the other cast members that are actually going onto the ride track to happen. And so you, as the tower cast member, are in charge of all of that. You are in charge of telling people where to go, what to do, making sure they do the safety procedures correctly to get onto the ride path. You're monitoring the evacuation, making sure everybody is going the way that they need to go, making sure that guests don't stray off into weird paths. Like, it is a very, most of the time, probably, you know, again, back in my day, maybe 90% of the time, let's just say that, maybe 90% of the time, you're sitting on your butt for an hour and you're watching TV, and that's your job. That other 10%, you are literally the most important cast member on that working that freaking ride. And so that was very, very nerve-wracking for a lot of people. And I remember as a trainer, that responsibility of that was a lot. Not just learning it myself and trying to understand all of the processes, all of the things that could go wrong with this ride and what to do and all of that stuff myself, but understanding it enough myself as a trainer to then be able to teach it to other cast members who some may have never worked on a ride in their entire freaking life. It's a lot. It's a lot, and that's all I'm trying to say here is there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes at Dinosaur that you never get to see. You never see, and you know, and for good reason. But yeah, it's just, it's interesting. It's definitely an interesting ride. Let's take a break though from talking about Dinosaur. Let me show you what I purchased, okay? Because yes, I bought a lot of stuff. So I did get the Time Rover, had to get this. This is just gonna be a nice little display piece. I'll probably even keep it inside of the box, I think. Look, it has a whole like spiel on the back of it. So, my beloved Time Rover. Oh, it's so sad, you guys. I am so genuinely sad. It's not even close to being funny. So, yeah, I got the Time Rover. And then I did get the Carnotaurus, this big guy here. Again, I've said for the longest time that I was going to grab him at some point. So here we are. We have reached the end, and this is the time. And I'm really happy about it. He is so adorable. And again, something that they have been selling since this park freaking opened. He's definitely changed a little bit over time, but essentially these big old weird plastic dinosaurs, which the cast member told me, by the way, is made out of recycled materials. So even though it seems like you could just throw them in a pool or something, apparently you're not supposed to do that. Good to know. And they've stuck this in a very interesting spot, but let's just say his belly button here, it says Disney's Dinoland Animal Kingdom. So this guy's gonna be a relic soon, you guys. So if you wanna grab one of these, you might want to do it sooner rather than later. Who knows how long they're going to be making them, you know what I mean? You guys, I just want to cry. I just want to sit here and cry. Like, I'm not lying to you. I just want to sit here and cry because I'm just going to miss this so much. But I'm probably going to keep his little necklace on here too because look on the inside. I didn't even know this was in here. Carnotaurus meat-eating bull. He likes meat. The head of Carnotaurus was crowned with 2 stout horns protruding over its eyes. The unusually short and deep skull created a unique bulldog face, etc., etc. Walt Disney World Dinosaur. It's fast. It's a blast. It's in the past. It's about to be in the past. It is about to be in the past. It's so hard because Animal Kingdom is still my favorite theme park, I guess, as far as Disney goes. I guess. Now that Dinoland is going away, Dino-rama's not here anymore. They're in the process of changing it. I don't think I can really say that it's my favorite anymore. I'm having trouble saying that about any of the Disney theme parks at this point. It sure as heck isn't Hollywood Studios, I can tell you that much. But it's still a beautiful theme park. So many beautiful plants and obviously the animals and such. And at least for now, there's still the theme of like conservation and research and education and like man's relationship with the earth and like all of that stuff is still kind of a prevalent theme here at Animal Kingdom, but it's kind of only a matter of time until it's not, and it's just filled with IPs that make no sense for this theme park. I have gone on so many diatribes about this very topic and why it doesn't make sense to take away Dinoland and how I think it's a terrible decision and just how much I hate Disney in general. Folks, we've talked about it a lot. I don't think I need to go over it again. If you know me, if you know the channel, then you know we freaking hate Disney at this point. They absolutely suck. I think that this is an absolutely terrible decision, and I hope that they regret it. I really, 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 really hope that they regret it. And honestly, like, I'm happy for you if you're excited for Encanto, if you're excited for Indiana Jones, that's great. You do you. I hope that it turns out fine, but we all know that Disney has the track record of not sticking with the concept art and making it way, way, way worse than what it's actually going to be. So there is that too. So I don't have high hopes. Personally, I do not have high hopes of it all. But you never know. You never know. But the point is that I will not be around to see it. I mean, realistically, I'll be back here sometime. I keep thinking this is literally my last time ever at Disney now that my annual pass is not going to be a thing anymore. I feel like I'm never, ever, ever coming back, and that is simply not true. I know I'll be back at some point. I'm sure I'll be back here to Animal Kingdom, but it's going to be bottom of the list. You know, out of all the parks I'm going to want to revisit, it would either be Epcot or Magic Kingdom at that point. There's no reason on the planet for me to ever go back to Hollywood Studios since they're taking away the Muppets. And yeah, I mean, they're taking away Dinoland, guys, so I don't know. Like, why would I come back? I really don't know why. So that's just what's running through my brain. But you never know. I'm sure I'll see it someday. I'm sure I'll see the changes someday. Also, I brought this with me. I don't think I remembered to show this when we did the last day of Dino-rama, but this was part of my uniform. We had to wear these buttons on our shirts when we worked at Dino-rama, and this is one of the buttons. I saved it. Isn't it really cute? We dig dinos, don't you? I do. Disney doesn't. Anyways, we're gonna do a loop around Animal Kingdom now. Continue on with the day. Look at him, he's so cute. I don't know why I thought maybe he would be small enough to fit inside of my backpack, but that is so not the case. So we're holding him around like he's a little dog inside of a purse, little purse dog, little purse Carnotaurus. Personally, I think that Animal Kingdom is one of the most, if not the most, period, detailed theme parks of all time, like ever created. And that's really one of the reasons why I've always loved it the most. Like, I think that the Everest queue line is one of the most detailed and themed lines and like rides in general ever created, and it's just amazing. Like, this whole theme park really is amazing, and that's why it kills me so much that they're swinging the wrecking ball here too, and just making it another IP based, doesn't make any freaking sense thing. It breaks my heart. It's really sad to see. Look at these ducks here. They're so cute. Look at their little duck butts. Anyway, one of my other favorite memories of working here at the Animal Kingdom was hearing the gibbons in the morning. Wow, they are so freaking loud. Very, very often I would open at Primeval Whirl. I would work at Primeval Whirl the most. And in the morning, before any guests are here, you're doing the opening procedures. I remember walking all the way up to the very top of the lift to Primeval Whirl. Can't even possibly imagine doing that now. And then you would just hear the gibbons off in the distance going crazy. It was so cool. One of my favorite things also working at Disney, just in general, was like you never knew what your day was gonna be. Like, I remember one time very vividly walking backstage, and there was a marathon that was happening, and so people are just running by, and you know, backstage, and I'm like trying to get to work, and all these people are running in this marathon, and I had no idea that was happening. And I just remember thinking, this is so cool. Like, my job, you never know what you're gonna walk into that day. Every day is different. Every day is an adventure, truly. And this is just such a cool thing to happen. You know, a normal 9-to-5 job isn't like this. And I just remember being so appreciative in that moment of like just recognizing where I was and like how cool that was. I can say for sure that being a cast member and specifically working at Dinoland, being a trainer at Dinoland specifically, was my most favorite job that I've ever had in my entire life, and probably ever will have. Like, to be honest, that's something that I've had to like kind of grapple with as I get older, that was like the peak of coolness was that job, my job when I was in my 20s. But nonetheless, I'm glad to have had that experience. It was just the coolest job ever. Also, probably the most stressful job ever. And I am very glad that I'm not doing it anymore. But I can still also recognize that it was so cool, and I wouldn't trade those memories for anything. Stopped in Avatar Land, got me a little snack here, a little lunch. It's off the kids menu, and it's pretty good. It's just a cheese quesadilla, got a bunch of vegetable chips here, got a nice Powerade. I'd offer you some, bud, but apparently, according to your little necklace, you only eat meat. Lunch was very, very good. If you are also a vegetarian and or picky eater, would highly recommend the quick serve place in Avatar Land. Cheese quesadilla, you can't go wrong. And good news, everyone. Tampa Jay is just minutes away from parking here at Animal Kingdom. He's gonna join us for the rest of the afternoon. We're just gonna enjoy this time together here at Animal Kingdom. All right, we're checking out some of the gift shops because, yeah, annual pass discount and all the things. Look at this. What? Decapitated ticker head. Is he supposed to be a bag, I think? That's so cute. Definitely very 90s, giving me 90s vibes. I'll say this, they don't do a lot of stuff right with their merchandise, but they have done things right with their Winnie the Pooh merchandise. I just think everything is so stinking adorable. I feel like they have knocked it out of the park with like the 90s kind of retro vibe that they're going for. It's just so adorable. You guys, this kitchen timer. Stop it right now. That is so freaking adorable. Also taking a look at their pens here, and again, don't see any dinosaur specific ones. You made it!
Greetings and salutations,
I knew
everyone.
You would.
You got a dinosaur.
You brought something back with you too.
That About to go extinct.
About to
Good
go
pickup.
extinct. Yeah, I knew. I've been saying for a while, like, I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab it any day now, and here it is.
Countdown to extinction.
It surely is.
Man, I love that ride.
Yeah. How was Universal? How was the parade?
It's the same parade.
I'm very grateful for that personally.
Yeah. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, it's an amazing parade.
But it was a little choppier.
Okay.
A little faster. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm glad. Also, congratulations. I found out through YouTube that you're going to be a full-time YouTuber.
Oh,
you
yeah,
didn't even run it past me.
I forgot to tell you about that.
Just
oh, man.
kidding, everybody. Just kidding.
You were the first person I called.
Yep. Congratulations.
Right after I got off the phone with my boss.
Very, very proud of you. You can expect great things from Tampa Jay in the future now that he has all the time available to him.
Quote unquote.
No more, no more full-time job to bring him down. So link is always down in the description below to Tampa Jay's channel. He covered the parade today at Universal, so make sure you check that out. And yeah, just really proud of you, babe. There go Chip and Dale. They're so cute. Little dino costumes. Now that is adorable. I do approve of that. So freaking cute. Well, everyone, I'm really glad that I didn't wait for Tampa Jay to get here to wait in line to not ride the ride, because holy freaking crap, you guys. 70 minutes. The lightning lane entrance is over here. It's so long that they have to have a person out here holding this stick. So if you want to pay extra to ride this ride, that's what your money is going to get you, folks. You're still waiting in a really long line. Holy crap. All right, so we did a full loop around the park. Now this is the last thing that I want to check out. I just want to walk a little bit in the Tough to Be a Bug queue line. I'm going to see how far we can get. Oh, wow, we can't get very far at all.
No, that's it.
Look at that. Okay. That's probably for the best, I suppose. Yeah, I'm sad, you guys. I'm sad that we didn't get to... Oh, I guess we could go this way. I'm sad that I wasn't able to do Tough to Be a Bug one more time, even though I said... I keep saying I don't want to do rides for the very, very last time, so there is that. We always have the memories, I guess. We always have the memories, and man, that was a freaking terrifying
I did it one time
theater.
and one time with you.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it.
Yeah, wasn't it wild?
I love it. That's the most amount of kid screams I've heard
Oh my gosh.
in one place
Yeah.
in one moment.
Yep. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss the screaming. Wow, guys. Yeah, they're doing a lot of work down there. Holy moly. Yeah. I didn't think they'd be like taking apart the queue. There's not much in the queue. Yeah, check this out. On the bushes a little bit. Stuff camouflaged underneath here. Can't fool us. I see all the stuff in there. Got a few more things along this way. So yeah, they're doing something. All right, final thing that I did, grabbed those cute little teacup timers that we saw.
They're in here.
I grabbed 2 of them, one for my mom. I sent her a picture and she loved it. So I got her one and then I got one for myself. I couldn't help it. So a good Disney shopping day, and we're probably not done yet. To be honest with you, gotta take advantage of that pass holder discount while we have the chance. Okay, goodbye, Animal Kingdom.
See you soon.
See ya. Not soon. To be honest with you, not soon at all.
I'm sorry.
But we'll see you at some point. We'll see it at some point. So
yeah,
it was
Come
fun
back.
while it lasted. And now we're moving on. So goodbye, Animal Kingdom. We'll see you later. Exiting the park. Oh no. Goodbye, Animal Kingdom. All right, everybody. That is it for today's video. And that is it for Animal Kingdom. That is it for Dinoland. We are done. And we'll just try to keep this as short and sweet as possible, because I feel like I have pretty much said everything that I need to say all throughout this video and through other videos as well. As I have mentioned, rest in peace, Dinoland. I will miss you very much, but it is also time for me personally to move on. Always have the memories, always have the goodness of it all, And that's amazing. And I'm so incredibly thrilled and blessed to be able to say that, to be able to have this platform here to share that with you all, and the privilege to have an annual pass to come here to Disney. All of it is just a huge, 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 huge blessing. Very thankful for it. Very thankful for the memories and the time. But it is time to move on. And that's okay too, because we have a lot more adventures ahead of us. A lot more adventures coming up here. There's a cardinal hopping around over there. So
it's a female cardinal.
It's a sign. It's a sign, you all, that it's time to move on, and that is okay. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed it. Hope that you had a good time. Make sure you check out Tampa Jay's channel. As I said, link is always down in the description below. And we're not done with Disney yet. We're not done. We're going to do a couple of ish. I can't tell you how many more videos left, but we're not totally done here. So making use of the annual pass while I have it, as I have been saying. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So thank you again for watching. Lots more adventures coming up, as I always say. I will see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye, everyone. See you later.
Bye, guys.
Are you ready to go home?
I'm grateful for the memories.
Yep.
But it's time to go home.
At least we can take a piece of Dinoland home with us. So there's that too. All right, Mr. Connotaurus, let's get back to the car. I don't remember where I parked, so this will be this is gonna be a fun time. All right, bye everyone. See you later. Yep.
Yeah. Going extinct, unfortunately.